Some say Odoo business management software is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. Some say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk, scaling with you while being magically affordable. And some say Odoo's programs for manufacturing, accounting, and more are like building blocks for creating a custom software suite. But I say Odoo is all of it. Fertilizer magic beanstalk building blocks for business. Yeah, Odoo. Exactly what every business needs. Sign up at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Earn a business degree on your terms. At Capella University, our FlexPath format is available in select programs and lets you learn on your schedule. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
I guess who's the bitch? I guess who's the bitch? It's you, I guess who's the bitch? It's me, oh, I guess it's all of us. It's who's the bitch?
We're back with another musical intro from Jackie Zabrowski.
You love it. You need it. You were hoping for it today.
Praying. And I'm your other host, Kara Clink, the less likely to sing on the mic.
Why not?
I do like, you know why? It's just my other podcast. We are not allowed. And
why?
So
you don't have the spirit of music within your heart?
We're not. Well, look, I could improvise a song like that, but I don't have your kind of genius. So we're not allowed to sing like we've been told to not sing like pieces of real songs to avoid getting like.
Do you work for the Grinch?
I know it's like. You know, certain companies I work for are more scared of being sued and certain are less scared of being sued.
I know. And my problem is everybody loves, that's why I have to keep to my mouth solos and things like that when I'm trying to do wow, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. You know, you can't get into it, but I'm so similar to like a Lynyrd Skynyrd in the mouth.
What if you copywrote all of your Lynyrd Skynyrd mouth things so that nobody else.
I mean,
we have to protect it.
Someday I'm going to figure out how to trademark the phrase woman owned so that I can be just like Buzzballs, but I'm just the woman, but I own myself. And I want to be Jackie Zabrowski, woman owned, trademarked, but I want it to be no one else can say that.
And only one woman apparently on the Buzzballs team, so that's why they call it woman owned. But I don't care. I'm not going to say anything bad about a Buzzball. And if you want to get back in the Buzzball swing of things and get back with us drinking Buzzballs out on the lanai.
Oh, you
need to mark your calendars for our live stream of our Who's the Bitch Live, Summer Bitchathon 2025.
Yes.
We're doing a super-sized long live stream. It's going to be 3 hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific on June 26th. That's a beautiful Thursday. Colin's sick to work the next day because we're going to be up pounding Buzzballs. You usually only get to see us for 1 hour at a time, and this is going to be 3 hours. So I think we are going to be pretty drunk by the end.
We are. We're really going to be doing it like it's like, oh, come hang out and get some sweet tea, put a little bit of rum in there.
Yeah, I'm going to feel I think I'm going to feel the essence of a gettin, kind of, that I've never experienced before. But we are going to have guests. We're going to have games. We're going to be taking calls live on the air. Any amount of we want any bitchuation. We want anything that's going on with you, high stakes, low stakes, medium stakes, and it could be on theme or off of theme. It could be something specifically coming up having to do with summer travel.
But that's the thing. Because
it doesn't have to be, though.
You've been pissed off on a summer vacation before.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I want to hear some heat-induced madness of maybe it was just too hot outside.
Shit that went down at the beach. Shit that went down at summer camp.
Yes.
Stuff going on with your kids. They're out of school.
Yes.
What little bitches. How dare they?
Oh, my God. How long are they out of school? Oh, my God. That's coming soon, Kara. Are you scared?
No, you know I have every second planned.
Oh yeah,
you know they're in shit. Like they please.
Never worry about Kara. Not when it comes to schedule.
Like you think I'm just gonna hang? No, I actually am hanging out with them a lot more than I normally do in the summer because summer camps on the East Coast are ridiculous. So we're only doing some out there, but in terms of price, not in terms of quality. I'm sure they're wonderful. But so I will be spending more time than usual, but I'll be splitting it with my husband as we want to do. That's our deal. We've been talking about that lately. My husband and I, we're always like, they have a different deal when we talk to other people. We're like he'll be talking to a friend and his friend will go, how do you get to see these movies all the time? And he goes, what do you mean? Kara watches the kids and I go see a movie, and then I watch the kids and Kara goes and does whatever she wants.
Everybody's got a different deal.
And they're like, oh, that's not our deal. Like, we don't do that. And it's always like, okay, but we have a deal that works for us.
Yeah.
We love our deal.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of people's deals are neither parent ever gets to smile or ever have any kind of fun.
And I would encourage people to check out the new deal. Check out a new...
I've heard about this new deal
Let me
before.
tell you, I'm going to resurrect your relationship and make it the strongest it's ever been. It's the new deal.
That people can smile and have children at the same time?
Yeah, listen, we do. I have a robust social life as a mom of
You
two
do.
kids.
I see you all the time.
And I think that sometimes my kids are with me and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
And, you got to make it, you got to get a good deal. But let's move on to some general bitchery where I'm going to give you guys updates or tell you somebody that's giving us a general bitch question.
Love it.
And we
love
got
it.
a DM from Sarah Beth who said, hi guys, quick question. What's the bitchiest natural disaster?
Oh, this is a good question.
She says, I'm leaning more towards earthquakes because they pop up and fuck shit up with no warning. Thoughts, questions,
I do
concerns?
like that because out the gate, I would immediately think tornado because you're right. Same deal. You never know where quite they're going to be landing. But you are also correct that earthquakes are bitchier because they pop out without a moment of warning in the way that at least with tornadoes, as we remember from the movie Twister, I mean, thanks to Dorothy.
Tornadoes do so much more damage if it's if it's a regular earthquake. I mean, like, I experience earthquakes all the time in Los Angeles and nothing happens.
But a big one.
If we're talking about the big one, but don't you think any tornado is pretty bad?
It's pretty bad.
Like any tornado is like not doing anything good.
If it touches down, not all of them touch down,
that's
though.
true.
So it really depends on what kind of destruction
You're a
they're having.
meteorologist all of a sudden. I didn't even know that they don't always touch down.
Oh, baby, I went to a year of meteorological school. I did. I actually did. And
I would love you to tell me the weather.
I wanted to be a weather woman. Well, really, I wanted to work for NASA and I wanted to study the weather from outer space. But then they cut all the funding so that they don't learn any more about the weather.
And who would have thought this is where you'd end up?
This is it. Yeah, me just talking about the bitchiest of natural disasters. Yeah. This is where I've slid all the way down to, speaking of slide, mudslides, up there with being bitchy. Because I feel like they're just like just as everybody's gotten everything together with the natural disaster mudslides, like, you didn't forget about me, did you? Me? And then just slough off the side of the fucking mountain. Just
and then your house just like slides into the ocean.
That's the thing, because then it's like the swallowing up of a home, that's what is.
What about a sinkhole? That's a fucking bitch.
Oy, oy, oy. But I don't know if this is a sinkhole, a natural, I don't know, is that necessarily what you would call a natural disaster? Because personally, I'm the most scared of tsunamis.
I was going to bring up tsunamis.
Yes, I am the most scared of tsunamis.
A sinkhole is a natural disaster, by the way, according to something I just Googled.
And sinkholes are a huge problem in Florida because everything is built on sand. It's all built on sand. You got to be careful. And I don't know. I'm not quite sure if Sarah Beth knew that I loved natural disasters.
I hope so.
So I just want to say thank you personally for this question. And I think, it's got to be tornadoes because you watch it miss that house and come right after you, which is a quote from Twister, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
What about tsunamis, though? They seem so scary. I mean, they're not really a danger to us where we live. But if you lived somewhere in like Southeast Asia, well, I mean, now with global warming, anything can come anywhere. We could get a blizzard in California.
Because technically, that makes earthquakes even more the biggest bitch because oftentimes large tsunamis are created by undersea earthquakes.
And that actually makes earthquakes the bigger bitch because they're like, I'm just going to shake shit up and then you go do the rest of my dirty work.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I'm just going to be down here quaking it up.
Earthquakes are the biggest bitch. Wow. I'm glad that we talked this out.
I don't know, though. I'm still scared. The tornadoes.
You're still on tornadoes? Have you ever dealt with a tornado before?
I will say one time I was on vacation in the Midwest with all my college friends. We were in Wisconsin. We were headed back to Chicago. We stopped for gas and the tornado warning things went off at the gas station.
Dude. Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm from the East Coast and now I live on the West Coast. I've really not spent a lot of time in the middle.
Dude.
And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And all my Midwest friends were like, it's a tornado warning. Like, don't worry about it. And then I felt like we were racing against away from the tornado. But no, I have not been like ever affected or personally even seen one.
Oh man, tornadoes are so scary and they sound like a train.
Yeah, and they like
sounds like a train's coming through.
Someone recently said they like turn the air yellow, like the
green.
Air,
it turns like a yellowish green.
Yeah.
It turns like a mucusy color. And also really everything does go completely still.
That's
very
really bitchy.
It's crazy.
That's really bitchy to be like a horror movie on top of a natural disaster.
To be like, cicadas, can you fucking take a second?
Yeah. Cicadas take 5.
I am coming through. You're right. They're up there. Tornadoes and earthquakes up there holding hands on the top of the bitch list.
They are. All right. Let's get into unsolicited advice. What do you have for us this week, Jackie?
You know, I think I never thought that I would think that this was a cute couple. And I am talking about Kylie Jenner and Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong.
When you say Timothy, it reminds me of Tay and the Wind from Nell.
Tay and the Wind. Oh, it is very Nell-coded. It is. Man, weird. Holden and I have a whole long-standing like connection about Nell, and that is part of where it comes from. And you just decoded a joke from like that has many layers to it. So
Tay and the Wind.
Hey, Tay and the Wind.
Messachickapay. I mean, that movie was part of our childhood in a crazy way.
Why did we all watch Nell so many times?
I don't know. I mean, I would wager to say I think I saw Nell in the theater. Like we were so into Nell.
Oh yeah, we were really going to see movies way too young. I remember seeing Forrest Gump. I think I was 6.
Oh, I saw Forrest Gump in the theater.
Yeah, no, far too young. Anyway, Kylie Jenner, I think, I wasn't caring about this relationship until I saw some article that was comparing the way Kylie Jenner has been in all of her past relationships. And there were just a million photos of her just looking like stone-faced and miserable. And every picture you see with her and Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong, they are just like smiling and laughing and kind of just like on each other. And it's very cute to see. And a lot of the internet has been making fun of Kylie Jenner because she has been right next to him on the court of the New York Knicks, standing off to the side because I guess it was
they were in like the semis or something, but they got knocked out for the play.
Time. It was a happy ball time, and he was very excited for his Knicks.
I mostly know because, my other podcast is about SVU, and Mariska Hargitay is very Knicks focused, and she's been courtside, and she hugs like the star of the team after every game. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, so well, I guess they may as well be sitting right next to each other because Timothy and Kylie have been there for almost every single game before they got knocked out of their Tyrants Championship or whatever it is. And everyone was like, oh my God, did you see Kylie? I feel like Kylie's just there because Timothy wants to be there, which, yeah, of course. You didn't see Kylie Jenner hanging out at the Knicks games every game beforehand, but everyone on the internet was giving her shit about it. And then she went on TikTok and she reposted a clip from Sex and the City about Carrie and Samantha talking about watching the Knicks game on TV. And Carrie asks, when did you start caring about basketball? And Samantha says, Don is obsessed. I don't get laid unless the Knicks win. and so Kylie reposted that. And the internet was just like, what? Because I think the internet is simultaneously only like throb thirsting for Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong while also like seeing him only as a child. Like I can't thirst for him because I see him truly only as a child.
I think he's like a 16-year-old to me forever.
He's a baby to me. And she's usually very tight-lipped about their sex life. So the internet really flipped out. And now, of course, it is like, is it bitchy to say, oh, I'm going to these games because I'm gonna get laid? Is it something that is too cheeky that upsets people? Of course it is. Of course it's upsetting people because everybody's got to have a
get over it.
Up their ass about everything.
I love that episode because I remember like she's so excited when they win and then it's the final game or whatever and they win and then he switches it over to baseball and he's like, now it's baseball season or whatever. And she's like, no. And then, she breaks up with that guy. But listen, Kylie Jenner is a fucking just megastar dating another megastar and she just goes with him because it's probably fun and she wants to be with him and who cares?
Also, here's the thing. I feel like there are some times when it's like, I don't think that this is her like lying and pretending to be a different person. Sometimes if your partner likes something, you do it because they like it.
And you could start to like it. If she never dated anybody before who was into basketball specifically, then maybe she was like, and now she's like, oh, I actually like going to these games. Let's go.
But it is specifically, that is what they're comparing her to, is her at those like at basketball games with other of her like partners in the past and them not giving a fuck about her or her existence.
Oh, but they're having fun. He's just a better boyfriend.
He's just a better boyfriend. Yeah. It's just like, I think
he's nicer to her. She's happier.
Yes, and that to a point that she's able to make a fun joke that, you know what, good for her. I hope that they are banging each other until they're dehydrated.
And I seriously doubt Timothée Chalamet also is like the same guy in the Sex and the City episode where he's just like, oh, I'm too busted up over the Knicks to have sex with my hot young girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going on. Who's
had her body surgically altered to be what I want.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's happening. But,
no. But, I say good for them. I'm trying to, let's be positive. I know sometimes with the Kardashians and the Jenners, we all give a little like, oh, yeah. But I'm throwing out a good for them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I never care about anything with Kylie Jenner. And they are kind of growing on me. They're cute.
I know.
They're kind of cute. Because I thought that was going to last 6 months.
Negative.
I thought it was going to last no time. And now it's like, they've gone through a full Oscar season together.
I know, dude.
Okay. So
with him in the running, like her having to do all that's a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're going the distance.
All right, let's get into our solicited advice. Once again, if anybody wants to send us anything, we're at who'sthebitch.com.
Who'sthebitch.com.
Ready with open arms to accept your bitchuations via email, voicemail. You can also DM us at who'sthebitchlpn on Instagram. And really quickly before we jump in, I think we mentioned the live stream. We didn't say where you could watch it. It will not be at our Twitch as previously viewed. It will be at our YouTube page, our newly launched YouTube page, which is youtube.com/@who'stheb. That's WHOSTHEB.
So go to YouTube and just in the title, like when you're doing the search, write in @ who's the bee.
And then subscribe. Even if you're not even going to watch this live stream, go give us a subscription.
Hey, I'm Paul Scheer.
I'm June Diane Raphael.
And I'm Jason Mantzoukas.
And we're the hosts of How Did This Get Made, a comedy podcast where we deconstruct, make fun of, and celebrate the best, worst movies ever made.
Have you ever seen a movie that's so bad that it's actually good? That's what we're talking about.
From blockbuster franchises and made-for-TV romances
to bonkers 80s action flicks and obscure sci-fi musicals, we cover it all.
You can find How Did This Get Made wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Idiot.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
All right, so our first submission is a voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep. Hi, ladies. So I'm just going to get into it. I recently went through a pretty bad breakup in February. I had a fiance. I was living with him and his family, and he kind of just ended things out of nowhere. He had been talking to a new girl, blah, blah, blah. So it's been a few months. I'm 25. I moved back in with my mom and my aunt. My mom, they live together. My aunt's old and that's rude. She's elderly and she's kind of losing it a little bit. So me and my mom, like, both live here. We both work full time, but we also are kind of taking care of my aunt because it's my aunt's house and stuff. And I lived here before I moved into my ex's house. And I moved into his house in 2021 when I was around 21, 22. He was my really first ever partner. He's 6 years older than me. So right now I'm 25. He's 31. Irrelevant. So I'm back at my mom's house, and it's hard. This house is kind of a mess. I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell you the tensions of living with your mom, especially as a grown woman. And I also have my best friend, who I've been best friends with our whole lives. She's a year older than me. She lives about 45 minutes away from here.
Just to cut this short a little bit, the friend that she's talking about has a child with her fiance, and then has another child with her fiance, and then eventually he leaves her for a coworker. So she's not in a great situation either.
So me and her are both kind of going through it, right? I mean, granted, she's been going through it a couple of years longer than me. I only recently got done, but we're both kind of in the same situation. And recently I was bitching to her about my mom, and she suggested, I'm like speeding up, but she suggested that I move in with her in her little apartment. It's only 2 rooms. She has a 6-year-old boy and a 2-year-old boy, and she is not the best with money. She hasn't had a job in a few months now, and I'm really not the best with money either. And I kind of like brushed it off and was like, no, it's okay. My drive to work would be too long, blah, blah, blah. And she like typed it into Google Maps, and she was like, no, you'd be closer to your job. And she's like kind of really pushing for it. And she's like, it'd be great. We can be roommates. We'll split all our bills. The boys can share my room with me. You can have their room. And like, I don't want to have kids. And I know that if I live with her, it'll become me being like the Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey of the situation. And I don't want to do that. And I don't know how to like explain that to her without being a bitch. Like I tried very gently to be like, oh no, it's okay. I'm saving up. I want to be on my own. I have a dog who's like, she just turned 2 on Thursday on the 22nd. So happy 2nd birthday to my dog. And she's kind of like a crazy little puppy still. And the idea of me and my little crazy dog moving in with my friend, and I work nights, so I have to sleep all day, and her kids love me, which is great because I love them too. And I can't imagine being able to get the sleep I need. I don't want to be a second parent. And I'm like, how do I express this without making her hate me? Because I also think part of it is her being like, I need help. I want you to move in and help me pay bills and help me be a second parent. And I'm like reading between the lines and seeing that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I help her as much as I can. I buy her stuff. I'll help her pay bills if she ever needs it. Like I do the best I can for her, but I don't want to do that. And I don't know like how to have that conversation with her. I don't like, because it's not like, I don't want her to think I don't love her kids. I do love her kids, but I don't want to be their second mom. And I if anything, I'd rather move into my own space, you know? So I guess I should just ask you guys, like, am I the bitch? And how can I not be the bitch? What's the least bitchy way I can tell her, like, no? Because every time I say no, it's like, oh, think about it. And I'm like, bitch, I thought about it. And my answer is no. So if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. Love you girls. Women owned. I hope you guys have a good day.
So, Jackie, what do you think? I mean, I am kind of like, run as far as you can away from this situation. Do not.
No, definitely. Get away from this.
Well, she knows that. You know that. And I think it's like, you're just asking, how do you approach it? Because she just keeps bringing it up. And
I hate to say this, that I think you might need to, a la me in 2025, you need to up that bitch, babe. I think that you do need to get to a place that, like, you are not moving in with this person. And unfortunately, you are going to have to get to a place where, and not going into it in a defensive manner, but to just say, genuinely looking her in the eyes of like, I really can't move in here right now. There's so much in your life that you are working on that you need the space to be able to work on.
Yeah.
And you can't do that while also helping her currently in the situation. And I know that makes you feel so bad because it's your friend and you want to be able to help out your friend and you want to, but not in the way of sacrificing yourself and what you need right now. You need to be working on you right now.
And I'll be honest, like, I understand why this is really a tough conversation to have because your friend is clearly like going through it and is like,
I need some help.
Let's be lifelines for each other. And that is like what friends do for each other. But like, this is not going to work out logistically, like what I'm hearing from you, like of what your needs are. And to be honest, like my first thought was like ways you could almost not lie, but like almost just fudge it a little bit to not like one thing you could say is just like, you know what? I actually think I kind of have a lead on a place. So I'm waiting to see how that pans out. And then just kind of be like, if that doesn't happen within a month or 2 months or 3 months, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, the other thing you could just say is like, yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Like, and just until she gets the hint that you're not really thinking about it or it's not going to happen. But
or labeling
those are literally, I'm telling you ways to take the coward's way out and not just do what Jackie's saying.
Yes.
Because I do think ultimately you should just be like, listen, I don't think it's going to work out. Like, I love your kids so much, but like, I need to sleep all day for my job. My puppy is crazy. Like, we can't have 2 kids and a puppy and all of us living in a 2-bedroom. It just doesn't feel like, but like, you know, also, what is she talking about? She's got her and her 2 kids in her room with her. That's, people do it, but that sounds like nuts. I mean,
it sounds like something, and also maybe in this conversation that you have with her, it's that you value your friendship more than you do.
I think this is
gonna this situation. I think it's putting that and making that very clear that you don't want this will ruin your friendship.
Yeah,
and you don't want that to happen. And I think even just laying that out there of all of these things are going to ruin our relationship, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, and like you're 25 and she's from what I understand she's 26 or something. Yeah, you guys are both like, it's like I could see how she thinks this is going to be like a slumber party and it's like not.
But also,
it's not going to be good.
And don't feel bad for sticking up for what you need. Don't feel bad because it's like, oh, but she's in this situation. She could really use help. You're right. She could. But that's not on you for you to fix.
I think you can also make it like just as vague as possible at the beginning and hope that she doesn't like keep probing. Like, I think you could just go, I just don't really think that's going to work. And if she keeps going, and if she goes, why? You could just go, well, I have my puppy and he's a lot and like I don't think there's enough space like in the apartment or whatever. And then if she's like, yeah, but it's like, you know, I've really thought about it. I don't think it's going to be good for our friendship. I don't think it's going to be good for my sleep schedule with my work.
Even the way you're saying it, I think that it's like the way that you're saying it right there is not definite enough. I think that I think it needs to be I will not get the sleep I need for work. My dog is crazy. Like, I think that these are statements.
I know, but I feel the fear of wanting to say a statement like that to a friend, especially when it's like, I'm just saying, like, of course, Jackie's correct that that's what you should just do.
But I understand where you're coming
from. I'm just like, I get that it's like she's in a sensitive place, you're in a sensitive place, and your friend's not crazy for suggesting this. It's like, yeah, let's help each other out, but it's just not going to work with what you need. So like I guess I would try to be like as firm as possible about like, it's not going to work out. I don't think. I've thought about it a lot and I really don't think it's the move for me. And then if she comes at you with a bunch of stuff, you could go, yeah, it's like my sleep schedule for work. But honestly, I just don't think it's the right move. Like, I think it's going to be bad for our friendship. And if she really keeps arguing with you about it, you can go, look, I understand that it's disappointing. It's not what you wanted to hear, but I've thought about it. And I don't think it's a good idea because I want to save our friendship. And if she's mad at you, I'm sure she'll be mad at you for a little bit. I don't think it's going to be friendship ending.
But
hopefully
also,
not.
I'm sure you would love to have some space after having an engagement broken up and then living with your family while you're helping an ailing family member.
Right.
This is a lot. There is nothing wrong with you saying, I'd like some space for myself.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that I would actually be a little bit annoyed with my friend if they didn't understand me by just saying, I want space for myself.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't understand that, that's a much bigger problem.
Right.
So there's nothing, she doesn't have to understand it. It's not for her to understand.
Exactly.
This is what you need for you. And you go get it.
Yeah. And I would be interested to hear whether you go with the Zabrowski method, which is just tell her everything, or the cowards version that I also presented.
It's not cowards. It's just difficult. It's a difficult
just
situation.
Taking it a little bit being a little bit more
easier,
I guess, conversational and but yes, I agree that what I was saying before of don't keep kicking the can down the road because she's going to keep saying, I think my friend might move in with me. Right. Definitely make it clear it's not going to work out. But I think I don't think you need to
be like, because your life sucks.
Yeah. I don't think you need to be super confrontational about it. Just be like, I thought about it and and if she just keeps pushing, be like, I don't really love the way you're pushing this. I really thought about it. I really have. And I do think that there would be some pros, but I do think the cons outweigh the pros and I don't want to fuck up our friendship.
And that's
if she has a problem with that, then I don't know. You gotta...
I would reevaluate my friendship.
Yeah.
If I was saying what I needed from my friend.
Cuts you off,
yes. Yeah. And that my friend looked me in the eyes and said, I hear what you need, but I'm just going to choose what I need and want
instead.
Over that. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying.
Right. Okay. Let's get to our next one. This is an email, okay?
You've got...
Hey, y'all. Just want to say that I love the show. It reminds me of driving around with my mom in the early 2000s listening to call-in advice radio shows.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my God. What's up, Dr. Drew? That's me. All right. Come to think of it, I was probably too young to be listening to those, but it's too late to go back now. I loved how scandalous they felt. So he writes, I've got a situation with a newish partner. We've been seeing each other for a few months, and it feels like things are moving in a more serious direction towards a defined long-term relationship, which is eventually something we're both looking for. She's great. I admire how artistic she is, how she shows up for her friends and community, and her sense of humor. We've also been able to navigate tougher conversations in a way where we feel closer and more supported by the other person in the end. Spending time together has been a lot of fun, but there's a catch. It's a lot less fun once she's asleep.
What?
She snores loudly and sometimes sleep talks in the times that the snoring isn't happening. Apparently the snoring is new, but the sleep talking has happened since she was a kid. I've had issues with insomnia for as long as I can remember, and I'm a very light sleeper. With this new partner, I either wake up 10 times a night or have to leave the room and sleep on the couch and end up feeling completely drained the next day in either case. She bought me a pair of loop earplugs, which was a really nice gesture, but they are not comfortable to sleep with, and they don't do a great job with the sound, even with background white noise. I'm having two potentially bitchy feelings coming up. One, I don't really want to sign up for sleeping with earplugs indefinitely. And two, that kind of shifts the responsibility to me when she's the snorer. I'm having a little trouble with knowing how to approach this. She's not consciously, literally, choosing to snore or sleep talk. Is it bitchy to talk to her about getting the advice of a doctor or something to see if there's a way to address it? My dad was a loud snorer and has had success recently following a doctor's advice to address his previously unaddressed sleep apnea. On one hand, it seems like a lot to ask someone I'm not in a defined relationship with and potentially a controlling overstep. But on the other hand, I don't know if I can really continue much further down a path that looks like it would destroy my sleep in the long term. Is it just a basic incompatibility thing? Am I being a cranky bitch due to lack of sleep? Any advice is appreciated. And once again, love y'all on the show. Take care, Ryan.
Oh, baby.
Ryan.
I hear ya. Oh, man. And especially every decision you have to make when you're that tired is not just, you don't want to make any decisions.
Yeah.
None of it. And I understand. I would also feel grumbly about this of like, oh, so I need to learn how to sleep with earbuds in because you're snoring. Great. Now, I get you because I also am a fairly light sleeper. So snoring was always a really big issue for me whenever I would be with someone random.
Okay.
And of course, how did I deal with that? Never spend the night. I would just never, ever, ever spend the night if I was with someone. But I never was with someone long term that snored to this extent. Does Jared snore?
Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I picked this, because when I was reading it over the weekend, I said to my husband, I go, oh, Jared, I got this really, we just got this submission, and I didn't read it to him, but I just said, basically, they're in a relationship, and the guy is a light sleeper and insomniac, and his partner snores a lot. And he immediately took the side of the snorer because he is a snorer, and I immediately took Ryan's side.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, because Jared snored a lot when we first got together, but I will say his was more, I will say, health and weight related.
Okay.
Like when he lost some weight and wasn't smoking cigarettes anymore and essentially started entering the adult phase of his life, he did not snore. It stopped exponentially.
Wow.
Okay. But before that, it was driving me insane. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a hugely light sleeper and it was waking me up multiple times in the night. And then even now, I sleep with him all the time and he occasionally does snore again and I can just touch him and go, get on your side. If he ends up on his back, he's snoring and I just go,
Okay,
you have to
so
move
you
on to
move
your
him.
side. So if he moves onto his side, he stops. And I still sometimes have to do it a couple times a night. I am not sleeping the way I did in my 20s, pre-long-term relationship with my
Right.
husband, where I would just sack out from beginning to end
Hammered.
with
Oh, yeah.
no wake ups. Like I would just be in a full REM for like however many hours I was sleeping. It is something you get used to, I will say, over time. Not just snoring, but just the general, if you're an insomniac and a light sleeper, like hopefully, I don't know what's gone on with you and other partners, but like they do move in the bed. They do other things that are not necessarily noise based. And like my husband gets up to go to the bathroom like 3 times, in a night. So it's like you will probably get used to some of that stuff. I don't think it's crazy to talk to her about this.
I also don't think it's
and
crazy.
go, listen, I'm like loving where this relationship is going. It feels like we're headed towards being more serious. I just have to say that like when we spend the night, like I cannot sleep. Like
Yeah.
the snoring is new. I wonder what's going on. Like what has changed in her life? What the snoring has changed. Like,
Right.
And
I hope that you would feel that you're at a place with this. And I feel like if you don't think you're at the place with this person to bring this up at all, I would understand, like, if this is like really brand new, I understand, but maybe like I'm wondering how much she knows you're suffering. Like I want,
Right.
like, so rather than coming at it so much as like I need you to go do something about
Right.
this, of just like hey, I've really been experiencing this and I am really excited about what's going on here and would like to spend the night. But if that's not something you're interested in or able to look into, like, dealing with your snoring, I don't know if I would want to spend the night there. Now, I used to have plenty of success banging people and not spending the night.
yeah.
But that depends on if that's what you want from this relationship. Because like you said, it seems like you both are kind of looking for something that will be a commitment down the line.
Yeah.
Like it seems like you're both looking for a partner. So maybe she would take that, if you're coming at her not in a defensive, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
You're doing this to me,
I
which
would
I
say,
don't
like,
think you would.
First step is to say, like, yeah, listen, like, I'm loving this, but I'm also like feeling really tired. Like last night I was up like 10 times. I just like the snoring's really bothering me. I know you got me the earplugs. They're just honestly, they're too uncomfortable.
doing
They're
it.
not an option for me. I was just wondering if you would be open to maybe like seeing a doctor and asking about your options, just because I know my dad had a lot of success with like talking to a doctor about it. Or there are little fucking things on the internet where it can detect your snoring and it makes your pillow rise up. That could be bullshit. I'm just sure there's a ton of different
Other
snoring
things.
resources. I just think also it's so early. You don't want to like embarrass her. Like I don't think it's like, it is really, I get why this is tricky.
Yes. But also, you are the one that is already trying some things out. And I think that, especially this is a great conversation to have early on in a partnership, is to find like, well, are you willing to meet me, not even meet me halfway, but are you willing to meet me halfway and go a little bit further? Like I'm meeting you, I'm trying the earbuds, I'm going to try other things. There are other like headphones now that they've got, like I wear an eye mask at night, but now they've got like eye masks that go all the way around your ears as well. Like one big felt thing that apparently feels nice on your head, but also plays sounds in your ears. Like, so, there are other ways.
So much
for
new
you.
technology.
There's so many things for you both to be trying, but I think you both need to be working on it. And I feel like you might feel a little bit better. And even though your brain, she's not choosing to snore and she's not choosing to sleep talk, But when you've been woken up for the fifth fucking time,
you're like,
it doesn't
you have
really
you
matter.
have no patience and you're not
Yes.
kind. It's
Yes.
like not good. Like, and so I have had that happen with my husband, like back in the day when we were first dating and stuff, like where he was snoring so bad. And I just kept going, oh my God. Like I would get so frustrated and he would go to the couch and he had no problem going to the couch. He actually slept fine on the couch. Like we had a comfortable couch. So like, I don't know, maybe there's a thing where you just ask her, like, what do you think we should do? This is actually super affecting my sleep.
Yes.
And if she's like, I don't know. Like if she's like, oh, maybe I'll go on the couch if I'm snoring too much.
That's what
Maybe
I'm saying.
she
See
doesn't
what
mind.
she
If she's a deep
offers.
sleeper, maybe she'll go to the couch and that could be a fix for a little bit. But I do think like long term, it's like you are going to sleep in hotels together.
Right.
You're going to sleep in places where you have to be in the same room together. And I do think long term, it's like, yeah, go talk to somebody. But yeah, you don't want to like, but I also wouldn't phrase it as a demand.
Right.
As a suggestion. It's like, I know my dad had a lot of like success going to talk to a doctor. What do you think?
Maybe you might.
What do you think? Is that, like whatever. But I think
there are ways
definitely
to go
take
around
it one step at
Yes.
a time. Don't be like, I cannot be with this person because I can't see a future of doing this forever. Like, it's not going to be like this forever. You're going to figure something out. I just hope that the lack of sleep doesn't start to cloud your like, affection. If you start to like blame someone for how freaking tired you are all the time, I don't want it to like affect your relationship. And you could say that to her too and be like, I just don't want to like have my lizard brain be so upset that I'm not getting sleep that I'm lashing out or being rude or anything like that.
Right.
Because I realize like it is on her that she's the snorer, but you are also a light sleeper. So it's like approach it that way that you two are like
tackling it together.
You're tackling it together because like as an insomniac or like a light sleeper, like you are engaging in a relationship where you're going to be sharing a bed with another person. And no matter if they snore or not, there are going to be things about them that will keep you awake.
Right.
Like, farts, for example. Anyway, thank you so much. Let us know how the combo goes. We love an update.
Hey, I'm Paul Scheer.
I'm June Diane Raphael.
And I'm Jason Mantzoukas.
And we're the hosts of How Did This Get Made, a comedy podcast where we deconstruct, make fun of, and celebrate the best, worst movies ever made.
Have you ever seen a movie that's so bad that it's actually good? That's what we're talking about.
From blockbuster franchises and made-for-TV romances
to bonkers 80s action flicks and obscure sci-fi musicals, we cover it all.
You can find How Did This Get Made wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Idiot.
Back so soon? Oh no, what happened?
A little incident at the dog park. We gotta head to the vet.
Oh, not again? These bills.
We can use CashNet USA. We can apply in minutes, get a fast decision, and have the money in the account as soon as the same business day. All right, Cheddar, back in the car.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See CashNetUSA.com for more details.
Okay, the next submission is a DM. Jackie,
great.
Go ahead.
You've got low stakes question. My husband of 10 years' love language is gifts. Unfortunately, he also has terrible taste in clothing for me. I never like the styles he picks and have had him return many items over the years and just put the less hideous items in my drawer until I can donate them. Am I the bitch for not just accepting the gift and appreciating the thought behind it, or should he know me better after 10 years to not just buy me clothing I haven't asked for or picked out for myself? Love that he was thinking of me. Hate that he saw a lilac purple one-piece tennis outfit and thought I would like it. Oh my
God, obsessed.
Baby. I get you.
This
Thank
is a good DM.
Great low stakes question. You are so correct. Here's the thing. I also have a husband that loves to buy me gifts as well, and he buys me gifts all the time, and it's wonderful. The one way that I was able to, because he can't read your mind, right? And even you saying that, like, am I a bitch for not accepting the gift or appreciating the thought behind it? Or should he know me better after 10 years to just not buy me clothing I haven't asked for? Here's the thing. How's he supposed to know if you haven't told him?
Yeah.
He can't read your mind. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to assume he hasn't noticed that you either haven't worn it or donated it. So think of it in the way and how because I struggled with this and I completely understand you. I had to negotiate in my brain, but he's wasting money. And I don't want him to waste money.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And that's how I approach the situation of because I like these guys. Definitely I gave him things like for me specifically, all earrings. I'm always going to like earrings. No matter what kind of earrings they are, I'm most likely going to like them. I gave him topics of things that I'm most likely always going to love. And there are certain things for instance, me, I have short legs and a long torso. No pants fit me properly. It is very, very difficult. I told him, don't even try to ever purchase me pants.
Yeah.
You can maybe purchase me a long skirt. Maybe. But outside of that, don't buy me pants.
I hear what you're saying. It is tough now that they're 10 years into a marriage. And I literally, at my 10-year anniversary is this week. I'm also 10 years into a marriage. Thank you. And my husband's love language is words of affirmation. He is not a good gift giver. He knows it. We know it. I'm also the kind of person that I can't really hide disappointment on my face that much when I don't like a gift. And so unless it's a friend, if it's my family or my husband, I'm and my mom knows it. My mom always goes, the gift receipt's in the box. She always gives me a gift receipt. She knows because I'll be like, do you have the gift receipt? And she'll be like, yes, I have it.
Of course.
She knows. So, I think it's more like what Jackie's saying. If you've gone 10 years, I think there's something kind of funny to going to him and going, honey, I know it's been 10 years. I just got to tell you, the purple tennis outfit.
It's just never going to be me.
It's just not for me. Can I give you a little bit more guidance on gifts to get for me? Because I love that you give me gifts. Because I don't know what that's like. And I think that's lovely.
But also, there is a place in also being scared of discussing this, that what we did together was, I was like, I also don't know, the kind of things that you like either. And so what we did was we went and talked about all different things that we like, stuff that we don't like. So, and I made notes of it. I made notes of the things that it's he doesn't like drawstrings on this. And that makes a lot of sense. But how the hell would I have known something like that? And we just then now open it up and made it more of a joke of never get me something like that.
Yeah, I guess we're both going to give you the advice of make it kind of jokey. But if that's not your personality, I understand that as well. I think maybe another thing you could do is the next time your birthday's coming up, you could go, hey, is it okay if I give you a couple of ideas for things I want for my birthday? I just saw something I really want. And then you're helping him get the things that you want.
Exactly. Because also it doesn't have to be I've never liked anything you ever gave me.
Right.
It can be I know that you always get me clothes and stuff, and I've always loved that. But lately I've been thinking, I think I want more X. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Well, I wasn't saying you should just say you've been fucking up for 10 years, but just be I loved XYZ that you gave me.
You since the beginning.
I loved when you got me this and that. And sometimes I feel clothes, it's hard because I always tell Jared, I go, it's impossible to buy me clothes because I don't know what I want half the time. I do not know what I want. I'm a shopper. I like to shop in person and I just see something and I'm okay, that. And then I want to try it on. It's really hard. And the only time he's ever succeeded at buying me clothes is when my sister went with him.
Yep.
Because she knows exactly the kind of clothes I like.
Yep.
So it's I think if there's a way to just steer him away from clothes and just be just don't do clothes anymore.
Yeah.
Let's do earrings. Let's do electronics. Let's do books. I don't know, other stuff. But I don't think you're a bitch for...
No.
I don't think you're a bitch for being let's stop it. I don't think we need to protect men's egos that crazily by saying, this isn't really me. I so appreciate the thought behind it and I love you and thank you. I feel so lucky to have a partner whose love language is giving gifts because, me personally, Kara Clank, that's not my experience. Yeah. It would be nice to once in a while get a gift that I'm oh, I love that. And he does once in a while get me a gift that I love. He does. He usually has help.
Yeah, but and there's something wrong with that.
It's fine because I'm not a person that needs a lot of gifts. But I think it's I understand exactly where you're coming from because I hate the waste. I hate, I would be selling it. I would be donating. I'd be I just, But you're only married 10 years. You're probably going to be married another 30 to 40.
I know.
Let's nip it in the bud. Let's just go, babe, maybe let's steer away from clothes unless it's something I specifically from a catalog, like
asking for.
I could be, leaving you hints or telling you what shops I like to buy clothes from. Because it's like if he buys you something from like the Gap and you like the Gap, whatever, you can take it back and exchange it and get something else that you like at the Gap. If he's getting you heinous shit at local boutiques that have no return policies, then for me, that's bad.
It's a no.
I don't like that.
Oh,
I don't like that.
I'm too picky for that.
But I don't think you're a bitch for just saying like, yeah, you do appreciate the thought behind it, but I don't think you need to accept the gift.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be something that you like.
And he wants to get you something that you like. Like that's what we have to remember when it's like this whole thing of, I wish they would just know what I want already. It's like, but he's not trying to disappoint you.
Yeah.
You're helping him. Help him.
It's so funny. It's like, I want to know the story. Like I would go like, what made you think this lilac one-piece tennis outfit was something I'd like?
I want to see it.
Like I want him to go, well, you have that one t-shirt that's lilac and you mentioned
the word
tennis.
Purple. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like, where are you getting? Because sometimes I also do. It's like another thing is, do you think your husband is honestly going out there and like really looking at a bunch of different shops and finding you what he thinks is the perfect gift? Or do you think he's going out and going, that looks good.
Yep.
That's in my price point.
She's hot. I bet she'd be hot in this.
Charge it, put it in a box, bye. I mean, that's how so many men are. So it's like, if it's something where, I
gave Jeff an almost impossible task of getting me, I wanted an everyday purse I wanted a nice, like a woman's everyday purse. I was like, I need a purse. I was like, but I don't want like a designer purse, but I want it to be something that will go with everything that I have, but something that's a crossbody. And so I gave him so many stipulations. And I tell you, Kara, in the end, he came to me. He's like, is it cheating if I show you 5 of them and you tell me what you like and what you don't like about the final 5? And I said, that's not cheating at all. I love that. And so we went through the final 5. And so I didn't know which one it was going to be.
Research and care that is more,
that
is better than if he had spent $12,000 on the bag.
Exactly. It was the searching for the bag that I didn't have the fucking time or the wherewithal to do, and that to me was the present.
Yeah,
that was the present.
My husband got me a watch once, and I said, thank you so much. Like, this is really cute, and I really appreciate you going out to get this. I really have my eye on a specific one. Is it okay with you if I return this and go get the one that I really want? And
rather
it's like,
than being upset.
If you can't have conversations like that and people are going to act like their ego is bruised because you don't love the thing that then that's not.
There are other
then
problems.
There's bigger problems communication-wise in the relationship. And I know you said this is low stakes, so I don't really feel like you think that like this is a...
That is a make or break. But
in general, I do think it can be frustrating to be like, you're not paying attention. You're not listening to what I'm telling you. You're not noticing things about me that I would not wear, this leopard print turtleneck or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this isn't my style.
I mean, I would definitely.
I know you would.
I mean, hands down.
All right, but thanks for DMing us. I love to get a juicy one over DM. Okay, let's listen to another voicemail.
Hi, Kara and Jackie. I'm a huge fan of your podcast, and I basically been a regular listener since it started. I knew Kara from That's Messed Up and have grown to love Jackie as well.
Thank you.
Anyway, my situation, I just heard on your last episode, you're like, we need more people calling in who think they're the actual bitch. And in this situation, I kind of think I'm the bitch, but I'm also like, okay with it. So anyway, I'm going to try to keep this short. I'm a middle school teacher. I teach 6th graders at a 6 through 8 middle school. It's a relatively new career. It's simultaneously really great and really hard and really awful all the time. I had a bit of a situation in one of my classes yesterday, and there are these 6 girls who are just little bitches, and I called them out. I didn't call them bitches, but I basically, in front of the whole class, named them all, said they were disrespectful, said they should be ashamed, said they should be embarrassed. One of them started crying, and I said, yeah, it's okay to cry. You should be embarrassed. And I just was like horribly rude to them and basically told them that they don't treat me like a human and they should be embarrassed, should be ashamed. I kind of just went off on them in a serious way based on the behavior in that particular class and then behavior from the year leading up until now. And in the moment, I was so frustrated. I didn't use any bad language. I just said, I'm really disappointed and I hope you feel ashamed and embarrassed about your behavior. And it's not okay to be disrespectful. It's not okay to be rude. But I lit into them pretty hard. Anyway, am I a bitch for calling out these kids in front of the whole class and just being pretty awful to them? Or are they the bitches for just being rude and disrespectful and not following expectations and being whiny and rude? I think I already said rude. Anyway, sometimes it's just hard because I'm like, okay, remember, you're the adult, they're the kids, but sometimes these kids can just be such bitches. Anyway, that's my situation. Hopefully no one I know listens to this podcast and knows who I am. Anyway, all right. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
I mean, we have a huge following with 6th graders, so they might actually, some of them, be listening.
Oh, yeah. They love listening to old women give advice.
I'm obsessed with this call because you're not the first teacher that has called in and saying that they were rude to a bunch of their students.
Yeah.
We had another teacher call in. I don't even know if we did the call on air or not, but they were like, they heard some other students from another school making fun of their students, and they stood up to these kids and like kind of yelled at them, but not, again, like you, not in an unprofessional way,
right,
like using cursing or threatening in any way. Just like, listen, all I fucking hear from all my friends who teach this age group of middle school is what assholes kids are turning into. And when I was a kid, not to do the fucking, I used to walk through, to school naked in 10 miles of snow, but we were scared that our teachers were going to humiliate us in front of the whole school. We were scared we were going to get called out, get detentions, get in trouble, have it affect our grade. And there is no shame anymore. The internet has removed shame. I think a lot of kids are damaged from the pandemic. And there's gentle parenting. Not that there's a problem with gentle parenting, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of parents that are just
not a problem with gentle parenting.
There isn't.
Because I feel like, I can't say, I'm not literally legally allowed to say anything because I don't have a child.
I think because what you're thinking of is permissive parenting. There's permissive parenting and gentle parenting, and they're two different things. And we have to start a completely different parenting podcast to talk about this. And, we tried, and Henry said we weren't allowed.
Yeah.
But no, but literally, there's a lot of permissive parenting. There's a lot of spoiling of kids that's going on, I would say, generationally more now. And I think it's these kids do need to hear this behavior is not okay.
Yes.
And that's what it is. You're setting a boundary essentially with these kids. And I'm sorry that one of them cried, but I don't know, stop being rude. I mean, I don't think they're going to fuck with you again for a while. That's probably something good to...
Yes, and my problem is, so I play The Sims with my other co-host, MJ, and oftentimes MJ does say that sometimes the way that I sim and when I parent in The Sims is very reminiscent of a boomer and how a boomer would raise their children.
Look,
because
our parents are inside of all of us.
This is the problem, and this is why I'm so scared of becoming a parent, because I'm just yeah, you should be ashamed every once in a while. Yeah, you should think about what you say and how it affects other people. But I know that that's not what you're supposed to say to children anymore. Yeah. I know you're not supposed to shame them, but also, all of us really struggle with saying the wrong thing or being woken up in the middle of the night and being oh, that one time when I said that one wrong thing. Are there not moments that you were shamed in school that are not one of those things that just randomly come up in the Rolodex of things that you're embarrassed about that are a part of the fundamental building blocks of who you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's we were such little assholes to our teachers sometimes. We were so rude. I had a friend. I'm still friends with her. She's my oldest friend. We've been friends since 3rd grade. She would moo at one of our teachers. She wasn't heavy or anything. She would just go in the middle of class just to torture her.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like, we would be so rude and mean to these teachers. And then finally, it's like you do grow out of it. So it's like, I think it's one thing to like, but you're literally observing a pattern in behavior with these kids.
Yes.
It's like they're not just, this is not a one-off.
No.
This is not just one day they're acting like jerks. And you don't know what's going on in a kid's life either. You really don't know what's going on in a kid's life. But you're coming from what you're saying, what I'm getting is that this is like repeated behavior where they feel they have free reign to say or do whatever they want in the classroom.
And they don't.
They don't. And I think it's different even from talking about parenting. I know your parenting in your Sims game is whatever, but like,
yeah, it's very important, Kara.
yeah. But I think we're even MJ's point of view coming at you is like from a parent, and we're talking about parenting is different than how teachers treat their students.
You're very
and
right.
Sometimes I feel like teachers are the last fucking frontier before these kids, because you have the ability to a little bit check their behavior in front of their friends. Even if you met these girls in a private setting and you said, your behavior today was really rude and unacceptable, they probably would have gone, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
and they probably would have acted the same way the next day. Like, in a way, I think holding them accountable in front of their peers, I don't know, maybe a child psychologist listens to this and is going to call us and go, you're absolutely full of shit and you're ruining these kids' lives.
Very possible.
But I just don't understand how you're supposed to curb this asshole-ish behaviors besides saying this is not okay. I won't tolerate it. And like maybe going, you should be embarrassed and you should be ashamed is like a bridge too far language-wise. But I still think it's like, I see kids all the time acting in ways, and it's only whatever they feel like they can get away with the teachers. Imagine what they're going to get away with other kids, like kids that they bully or that they don't think are cool or whatever.
And also, honestly, even in being proud of yourself that you didn't in that moment of snapping, because you are a human being and that is completely understandable, but that you didn't say anything that was unprofessional, because this is, I did a lot of substitute teaching and I did a lot of like summer school teaching. And oftentimes the kids that were the biggest problem children were also having like a parent, if you saw a parent that came in and said way worse shit about them in front of them, at them, than I ever could have thought up. And then I see that interaction and everything of how I speak to them would change, because it's like, oh, of course you are the way that you are because of what you come from.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think a little bit of professional scolding is the
I think if you want, like, maybe you could pull aside. Sometimes these girls, like in these like, the queen bee like situations, like sometimes they can be more open if you pull them away. So make
separately.
What if you just met with the girl who started crying and you said, listen, I'm sorry that what I said to you the other day led to you crying. I still don't think the behavior is okay. And I just wanted to reach out and apologize and say sorry, and also make sure everything's going okay with you in your life or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Or not in your life, you don't say it like that, but like, is everything going okay with you? Like, why do you think this behavior is so prevalent? Like, I've been seeing you guys act like this since last year. Like, why do you think that you guys do this? Like, I wonder if anybody like ever asks these kids, like, why are you acting this way?
Right.
Besides, if their parents are ignoring them, then no one's checking them.
And teachers barely have the time and barely have anything.
I'm literally not trying to give you extra work. I'm saying if you somehow you said you don't really feel that bad about it, but if there's like a part of you that thinks like, oh, maybe I like traumatized this girl by embarrassing her, but like also it's like embarrassment is part of life. Learn from it, grow from it. It's like you didn't humiliate her in a way where
she was
it was
being
like
disrespectful.
Yeah, like you didn't call her flat chested in front of her whole fucking class or something. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. You didn't go to a place that was unprofessional.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to, you could like reach out to one of those girls and just be like, everything going okay? Like, sorry if that felt too far, but I really don't like appreciate your guys' behavior, and I stand by like what I said, basically, but I'm sorry you had that reaction, and check in. But I don't think you have to. I mean, honestly, see how the behavior is shaping up.
See how
Like
it goes.
it's like if they actually, or maybe they're like, oh, we don't fuck with Miss Smith now, like she will yell at us in front of the whole class, but we can still fucking throw cans at Mr. Jones because he's doesn't do anything and doesn't care, So yeah, I don't think that part of, like, I have a friend who's a guidance counselor for basically I think 6th, 7th, 8th. And she's like, it's a nightmare age. And it is. It's like, for me, it was the worst year of my life, 7th grade.
Of course.
And like, so they all are going through stuff, but that doesn't excuse like total disrespectful behavior to adults. And I think that now with pandemic and social media and everything that's going on with kids, it's like there is just this like wild west of like kids' behavior is out of control.
Yeah.
So I'm certainly trying to curb it with my children.
Yeah, curb it good. Yeah, keep them to the what is that? Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Oh,
Remember
we're
that?
not allowed to smack them anymore.
Oh,
but
come on.
We're not allowed.
All
I
right.
asked.
Okay, fine.
But all right. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you guys so much, all of you, for writing in, calling in.
We love hearing
DMing
from you.
in. We love hearing from you. Once again, go to our YouTube. That's at Who's the Bee at YouTube, and give us a subscription, and tune in on June 26th for the big summer bitchathon.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be off the heated chains.
Yeah, and if you've written to us before and we haven't responded, it could just be because like what you wrote was too long, or it wasn't really clear in your email or your voicemail, and maybe calling in and talking to us one-on-one is the best way to do it so that we can get the information that we need. Also, you do not need to be on camera. Your voice will be on camera, but your face does not have to be on camera. I don't know if everybody knows that in our live streams. So,
We can't wait to hear from you.
Who'sthebitch.com has all the info too. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Adios.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Hey, I'm Paul Scheer.
I'm June Diane Raphael.
And I'm Jason Mantzoukas.
And we're the hosts of How Did This Get Made, a comedy podcast where we deconstruct, make fun of, and celebrate the best, worst movies ever made.
Have you ever seen a movie that's so bad that it's actually good? That's what we're talking about.
From blockbuster franchises and made-for-TV romances
to bonkers 80s action flicks and obscure sci-fi musicals, we cover it all.
You can find How Did This Get Made wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Idiot.